The process of changing the pattern sizes is called grading, and the basic principle of grading is very simple. You draw several lines on the pattern vertically and horizontally, cut on those lines, spread and widen the gaps to get the desired measurements. Where you draw lines depends on the shape of your pattern, but the basic rule is that you add lines where you want to add more room. But this is not mere enlarging and shrinking that you do on your printer by changing the percentage of the printing sizes. Because a person with the waist twice as big as someone doesn't necessarily have a neck twice as big or height twice as tall. You usually add more horizontally than vertically. You figure out total amount of measurements you want to add to the pattern and divide the amount between the lines. In order to enlarge and shrink the pattern in a good proportion, you want to add more than a few lines. I drew lines to go over the major components like the neckline, the shoulder, the sleeve, and the waist. If you need more vertical length around the neck and shoulder area, you can add a line here. You usually want to do the same thing on the front and the back bodices to match the seams. This is the same pattern in the actual size. This is free to download from my website. Details on how to use this pattern is in my other video, but basically you just tape them together matching the numbered symbols. It only comes in one size, but I arranged the pattern so it's easy to adjust the sizes. The pattern is made to fit very loosely on 34 to 36 inch bust. If you want to make, for example, 40 inch bust, you will be adding 4 inches total around the bust. That means that you want to add 1 inch on this vertical line. I went ahead and taped the pattern like this. Now I want to give 1 inch between the taped pattern on the left and the taped pattern in the middle. The important thing is that you keep the horizontal lines straight. If you want to add more and the paper edge is not enough, tape a strip of paper behind. For the sleeve area, you could just tape at the original lines, or you can add a lot more length to make it a longer sleeve, or add 1 inch here also to keep the similar proportion to the original. Redraw the pattern lines. Make sure the front bodice and the back bodice match. If you want to add length vertically too, I recommend doing it after you made all the changes to the width, or vice versa. That way, it's easier to keep the horizontal and vertical lines of the pattern straight. Using this method, you can make this base pattern much bigger like this, or smaller by overlapping at those lines, or make it petite size by overlapping horizontal lines.